Alrighty, chicos, bienvenidos a nuestra presentación de present tense of AR verbs. Alrighty, guys, today you are going to be watching this. It's going to be an ed puzzle. So what you're going to do today is you're going to answer some questions throughout as we are going through this new set of notes. So, along with answering the questions, I'm going to ask that you take some physical written notes in your cuaderno, okay? So you should have your cuaderno open right now as you're going through this ed puzzle, as you're going through this presentation. Please be taking notes. You do not need to submit a picture of your notes yet. I will let you know next week we're going to have a cuaderno check where I'm going to check that you have these notes in there, okay? You need these notes. Yes, it's good that you are doing it along as we go through this, as we go through the ed puzzle, answering questions, but you should also be taking notes, okay? So two-step process here. 1, take some physical notes. 2, answer the questions on the ed puzzle as we go. Alrighty, so please make sure you write to the title, present tense of AR verbs. Make sure you write today's date. Chicos, you know how to do that in Spanish now. So write hoy es blank, el blank de blank, okay? For most of you, you might be writing hoy es lunes, el 19 de octubre, 19th of October. Hoy es martes, el 20 de octubre, 20th. Well, depending on when you're doing this, please make sure you write the date, guys. All right, here we go. We're starting off with this simple question. ¿Qué es un verbo? ¿Qué es un verbo? What is a verb in English? Guys, a lot of us don't know what this is in English. That's okay. I'm here to teach you, to help you, to make sure you understand what a verb is. In English, verbs express actions or states of being. For example, your to blank, to eat, to walk, to sleep, to dance, to take a picture. Okay, these are all verbs. There are action words to something. In Spanish, okay, right? In English, en español, in Spanish, we have things that help us distinguish what a verb is, and those are our endings. The verb will end in AR, ER, or IR, okay? In Spanish, again, a verb will end in AR, ER, or IR. So in English, that to tells us something is a verb. In Spanish, this ending tells us it's a verb. So for example, hablar, you're going to learn today, means to speak. Comer, you're going to learn later, means to eat. And escribir, which I actually told you about, if you remember during the vocab, means to write. Okay, so these are examples of some verbs. So chicos, you should be taking notes as we go. I'm going to be throwing some questions in here too, so make sure you answer the questions. Answer the questions, take some notes. Moving, and if I go too fast, pause me. Moving on. There are tres partes, 3 parts of a verb that you need to pay very close attention to. These are them. Número uno, the infinitive. Número dos, the ending. And número tres, the root or the stem. Okay, I'm going to go through all 3 of those things in the next couple slides, but please make sure you get these 3 things down. The infinitive, the ending, the root or the stem. Here we go. Número uno, el infinitivo. Okay, the verb. The infinitive verb. You're like, infinitive, like infinity, like a big number? No, not that. It's a little different, but keep it in mind. Basically, an infinitive verb is the unconjugated form. Woo, long word. I know. We're gonna practice that a lot, so don't worry. It is the one that corresponds to the English to do something. So those are the same exact examples that I gave earlier. To speak, hablar. To eat, comer. To write, escribir. Okay, the unconjugated form, meaning those endings are the same. They are either an AR, ER, or IR. Right now, you're only going to be talking about the ARs for today, but make sure you know there are 3 different kinds: AR, ER, and IR. So the infinitive verb is the verb that ends with AR, ER, or IR. Ojo, cuidado, watch out, guys, right? Ojo, watch out. The Spanish infinitive always ends in AR, ER, or IR, like I just said, okay? Very, very important to note down. The infinitive always ends in AR, ER, or IR, which leads me to point number 2 on your list, the ending. Okay, this is the second part of the verb, the ending. Does the verb end with AR, ER, or IR? If it does, bing, 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 it is an infinitive verb, okay? An infinitive verb. Número 3, The stem, the stem of the verb. What the heck does that mean? Whatever is left after removing the ending from the infinitive. The ending from the infinitive. Those are the two things we just talked about, guys. So it's an equation. The infinitive minus the ending equals the stem. Infinitive minus ending equals stem. For example, hablar. Same three verbs we're using, guys. Hablar, it means to speak, right? That's my infinitive. I know it's my infinitive because it ends with AR. So I'm gonna take away the ending, which is that AR, and I'm left with the stem. Habl. Okay? HABL. Habl. Comer. That's my infinitive. I'm going to take away the ending, the ER, and I'm left with my stem com. Okay, com. Just leaving it alone like that. And the last one, escribir. My infinitive is escribir. Remember, ends with AR, ER, IR. I take away the ending. That is the IR part of it. And I'm left with escrib. Okay, that is the stem. So these three, let me get my pun here. These three things right here, these are our stems, guys. These are our stems. Back to my pointer. Back to here. Oh, look at that. And I already did it. These are your stems, guys. These are your stems. So please be aware of what a stem is. Please be aware of what this vocabulary is. The ending, the infinitive, the stem. Pay attention to those things. We're going to now practice using these three things by conjugating some verbs. Woo! Good fun. To conjugate, we must put the verb in its correct person and number so that we know who is doing the action. Remember, our verb ser means to be. I can't say yo eres, right? You are. Oh, I have to say yo soy. I am. Just like that, when we conjugate these verbs, we always are going to look at the person who is doing the action. The thing that's going to be different with these is we're going to start with the stem. These ones are actually easier to conjugate than that verb ser, so hang tight, guys. But remember, we always start with the stem. Write that thing down. We always start with the stem. If I go too fast, pause me. But remember, guys, you don't need to write every single word down on the slide. Okay, a conjugar. Let's conjugate. Estudiar, guys, write this verb down. Estudiar means to study. How do I know it means to study? Because of that AR, right? The AR ending tells me that means to do something. In this case, to study. Ooh, look at that. Estudiar, to study. Easy, right? Okay, we're going to start off with that 6-box chart. I told you guys this chart's following us everywhere. We're going to start off with our subject pronouns. Remember we did those last quarter right here? Who's the person that I'm talking about right here? Yo. And what does yo mean? I. To coming next. What does to mean? You informal. Up, down, or at the bottom over here, LAO said he, she, you formal. I got nosotros, that means we. I got my vosotros, that's my you guys in Spain. And I have my ellos, ellas, and ustedes, my theys, and my you guys, right? Don't get these things confused, guys. So, we're starting off with those so that we remember who's the person we're talking about here. Then, what we have to do is we have to ask ourselves, what is the stem of estudiar? What is the stem of estudiar? I just told you the stem is everything except the ending. So let's take away the ending, the AR. Adios, AR. What's left? Estudi. Sorry, I jumped in the gun here. Let me just go back. Estudi. Okay, estudi is left. We're taking away the AR. Let me use my pen here. We're taking away the AR. Goodbye, AR. We just want estudi is the stem. So estudi is going to go in every single one of these boxes. Okay, we're going to start it off with estudi. Every single one. The first one is going to look like this. Estudio. Okay, we're replacing the AR with a O in the yo form. So what would yo estudio mean? I study. I study. I'm doing the action. It's me and the verb. I study. Estudio. In the to form, we're no longer going to use a O anymore. No. We're going to use a AS. As. To estudias. To estudias. You study. You informal. You study. In the LA usted form, we say Estudia with an A. Okay, notice the differences here. O, as, a. But what's staying the same is the stem, right? Estudi, estudi, estudi. Same. So what's going to go here? Estudi, yes. And then their ending now is amos. Nosotros estudiamos. We study. If you want to write these definitions right there on the side for yourself, please do so, guys. Vosotros estudiáis, and ellos, ustedes estudian. Okay, estudian. So notice every single one of these starts with the stem, estudi. What's changing is the AR part, right? We're taking away the AR and we're replacing it with something new, depending on who the person is that we're talking about. So if I'm saying we, if I'm talking about a we here, I better be using an amos. If I'm talking about they, I better be using an an. Okay, we just got to get into the habit of asking ourselves, who is doing the action? Who's the person? Then we can change the ending appropriately. I'm going to erase this so it doesn't show up on the next screen. But guys, please make sure you got this down. Muy importante. Do not go on without writing this down. Here we go. So, to break it down again for you, this is literally the exact same thing I just said, but for those who need a visual, here you go. For you. Step 1. We take the infinitive. Remember, the infinitive is the thing that ends with AR, ER, or IR. In this case, estudiar. Step 2. We find the stem. Take away the ending. What's left? Estudi. And step 3, we conjugate it. In this case, the example I give you is in the yo form. Okay, yo meaning I study. Yo estudio. Yo estudio. Yo estudio. Okay, that's the conjugated form. Remember that it always depends on who your subject is. I cannot say yo estudiamos. Yo estudiamos would say we study. I can't say we study. I have to just say we study, right? So I would say nosotros estudiamos. So the ending kind of gives you a little hint at who the subject is, but you gotta know the subject before you can put the ending, right? So remember, subject, verb, they always stick together. Don't ever let them separate. These are the same endings for most AR verbs, okay? The endings, just the endings. The last chart that you wrote down was an example of the verb estudiar. This, though, is just the endings. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Say it to yourself 5 times fast, okay? O, as, a, amos, ais, an. These are things that are never going to change, guys. So, there are more than just one verb, and more than just estudiar, more than just hablar. There are many verbs that end with AR, but almost all of them, okay, not all, but almost all of them are going to follow the same exact pattern. So if you see another verb and it ends with AR and you want to say we do whatever that is that ends with AR, you're going to change the ending to amos, okay? This is the pattern. Please write this down. Moving on. Let's try another one. Hablar. Hablar means to speak. So, I already gave you your subjects. Your subjects are in red. You need to give me the verbs. So, step 1, what is the stem of hablar? What is the stem of hablar? Well, let's take away the AR. See you later ending. Bam. Abel. Abel is your stem. Take your stem and apply it to every single one of these. And we're going to get in the yo form. Abl. Oh, okay, right? We're changing the AR to a O. Hablo. Tú hablas. Él, ella, usted habla. Nosotros hablamos. Vosotros habláis. And ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Okay, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. So, repeat after me, chicos. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. Okay, o, as, a, amos, ais, an. Notice what's staying the same. Habl, right? Habl staying the same. Everything else, the endings are changing depending on your subject. So, ask yourself, what would usted habla mean? You, formal, speak. What about vosotros habláis? You guys in Spain speak. Okay, notice the verb, it doesn't change. It still means speak. All of these mean speak. Just depends on who we're talking about. I am moving on after I erase the board. There we go. Moving on. New verbs, guys. Obviously, there's more than just two. So you're going to learn some new ones. I'm going to ask that you write these things down, just like we did our vocabulary for en la universidad. These will not be on your quiz, so don't freak out, okay? These are not going to be on your en la universidad quiz. Again, these are not going to be on your en la universidad quiz. These are verbs. Eventually, you will be quizzed on them, but not this week, so don't freak out. These are just verbs you're going to need to know. We're going to be working with them this quarter. Same, guys. I show you a picture, you take a guess. Obviously, these guys are dancing. But am I going to write dancing in English? No. I'm going to write to dance. Please make sure you write to dance. And the verb in Spanish. Some of you might know it. Yes, it is the verb. Bailar. Okay, repeat after me. Bailar. Bailar, to dance. Bailar, to dance. If I go too fast, pause me, but make sure you write this down in English and Spanish. Moving on. This verb, buscar, buscar, buscar. Chicos, again, please make sure you're repeating after me at home to practice. Buscar, to look for or to search. I will take either of those definitions. Most time I go for to look for, okay? If you're looking for your homework, buscar, okay? To search or to look for, buscar. Moving on. What is this person doing? Obviously, they're taking a walk. They are walking, right? To walk. Caminar. Repeat after me. Caminar. Caminar. And remember, guys, that thing right there, that ending tells us this means to. Oh, that was horrible. To whatever, right? In this case, to walk. So please make sure you are writing to walk. Caminar. To walk. For those of you who don't know, this is that guy Juanes. Remember that guy I was talking about at the beginning of the year? Juanes, okay, the guy from Colombia. He's obviously singing. So this is to sing. Repeat after me. Cantar, cantar, cantar. To sing, cantar. So if I want to say I sing, yo canto, right? Yo canto. Moving on. These people, they are having dinner. Okay, there is a whole verb in Spanish for to have dinner or to dinner. If you want to write to dinner, whatever, that's cool. Okay, the verb in Spanish, cenar. Chicos, repeat after me. Cenar, cenar. To have dinner, to eat dinner, to dinner. Any of those fly or fine with me. Cenar, to have dinner, to have dinner. Moving on. This verb, what are they doing? A lot of us do it now in the digital world because we don't go to the store anymore. Comprar, to buy, to buy, to buy, to buy. Not necessarily to shop, but to buy. Okay, comprar, to buy. Comprar, to buy. Repeat after me. Comprar, comprar, to buy. This one, a little different from the verb hablar. Contestar. When the phone is ringing, you pick it up and you answer. Yes, to answer. Contestar. You're looking at that and you're like, oh, senorita, that looks like contest. It's a false cognate, guys. It doesn't mean to contest. It means to answer, okay? To contest, yes, that means to answer, okay? Contestar, to answer a phone, to answer a question, whatever it may be. Contestar, to answer. Again, please make sure you're writing these things down, English and Spanish. Moving on. These people are having a conversation. To converse. Okay, conversar. Conversar, to converse. Conversar, to converse. Yes, that looks like the word, sounds like the word in English. Another cognate. Conversar, to converse. Not dinner, but breakfast, ladies and gents. Desayunar. It's a long one. Repeat after me. Desayunar. Desayunar. To have breakfast. To breakfast. To eat breakfast. I will take any of those. Desayunar. To have breakfast. Moving on. This guy is not sleeping, but rather resting, okay? To rest. Descansar, descansar, to rest, not to sleep. Do not write to sleep. That is a different verb. This is to rest. Descansar, to rest. This girl, she is hoping, she is wishing. Okay, desear, to desire, desear kind of looks like that word desire, right? Desear, chicos, repeat after me. Desear, to desire. And you notice this plus INF thing. You're like, what is that plus INF thing? That is plus an infinitive. Infinitive, remember the thing that ends with AR, ER, or IR? To something. So maybe she desires to speak Spanish. So you're going to conjugate this one, but not that one. It's okay if you don't understand what that means. We're going to practice this. So don't worry. Just go ahead and put that right there next to the verb for now so that you remember this one requires it later on. Again, don't worry too much about it, but you're going to practice it later. Desear, though, to desire. To desire. All my drawers out there, here it is for you. Dibujar, dibujar, to draw. Dibujar, repeat after me. Dibujar, to draw. Dibujar, to draw. Moving on. This is what I do every single day. Enseñar, enseñar, to teach. Repeat after me. Enseñar, enseñar. Don't say enseñar, okay? Remember the ñe. Enseñar, to teach. Enseñar, to teach. A lot of you like to do this. Escuchar. See? Escuchar música. To listen to. Make sure you write to listen to, okay? Escuchar. To listen to. A lot of you will follow that up with música. See? Escuchar música. To listen to music. Just escuchar, though, to listen to. Escuchar, to listen to. This guy, he is waiting for his flight, right? To wait or to hope, either one for this one. Esperar, it can mean to wait or to hope. If anybody ever read that book Esperanza Rising in like elementary school, there's a Spanish version called Esperanza Renace, okay? Esperanza means hope. Esperar means to hope or to wait for. Another one that will be followed up with an infinitive verb. Just write it down for now. We'll go over it later on in class. Esperar, to wait or to hope for. This is what you do. That's what you need to do because you have a prueba on Friday. Estudiar, which we already went over, right? You already wrote down to study. Write it down again. Notice I'm going in alphabetical order here, guys. Estudiar, to study. Moving on. This guy is explaining. Explicar, okay? Doctors explain things to us. Explicar, explicar, to explain. It's a cognate. It looks like English. It sounds like English. Explicar, to explain. Blah, blah, blah. They are obviously speaking. Hablar. Okay, again, we already practiced this one, but write it down again. Hablar, to speak. Hablar, to speak. Please don't pronounce the H, guys. Don't say hablar. Ah, okay. Hablar. Hablar. To speak. These guys, they have just arrived to their destination. Llegar. To arrive. Llegar. To arrive. Llegar. To arrive. Don't say legar, okay? Remember, double L. Make the y sound. Llegar. To arrive. Not to be confused with llevar. Llevar means to carry, okay? These guys are carrying something. It can also mean to take from point A to point B, okay? Llevar, to carry or to take from point A to point B. There are two definitions for this word. Llevar, to carry or to take from point A to point B, okay? We're specifying it is from one place to another, or it's carrying. Either one. Llevar. But don't confuse. Llevar and llegar. To arrive, to carry, or to take from point A to point B. Llegar, to arrive. Llevar, to carry, or to take from point A to point B. Moving on. This girl is watching. Mirar. Mirar. Chicos, mirar. To watch. Oh, kind of looks like the word mirror, right? What do? You watch yourself in the mirror. If you're obsessed with yourself, that's okay. That's good. Love yourself, guys. Mirar, to watch. Not to see, to watch. Make sure you distinguish the difference there. Mirar, to watch. Okay, this one's, you gotta think out of the box for this one. He really needs to use the bathroom. Necesitar, to need. Okay, repeat after me. Necesitar. It's kind of a long one. Don't swap the C's and the S's. Make sure CS. Okay, necesitar, to need. Necesitar, to need. Necesitar, to need. Moving on. A lot of you guys do this before you play the game. You have to practicar. See, practicar. Practicar. It's a cognate. Obviously, looks like to practice. See, practicar, to practice. Practicar, to practice. Not just sports, anything, okay? But a lot of us relate to this. Practicar, to practice. To ask a question, preguntar. I always ask in class, ¿alguien tiene una pregunta or preguntas? Anybody got any preguntas? A pregunta is a question. Preguntar is to ask a question or just to question. Either one is fine with me. Preguntar, to ask a question or to question. Preguntar, to ask a question or to question. This guy is cooking, yes, but more specifically, preparar, to prepare. You got that right? See, preparar, to prepare. Preparar, to prepare. Make sure you're repeating these words, guys. Preparar, to prepare. And make sure you're writing them down, too. Por favor. This one's a little bit out of the box. To return, okay? I don't know. It's kind of hard to find this one online. To return. Regresar, okay? Repeat after me. Regresar. Regresar, to return. To return to a place, to return to your home, to return to whatever, okay? Regresar, just like going back, to return. This one, he just finished the race. Terminar, see? Terminar, to finish. Terminar, to finish. Terminar, to finish. You're looking at this and you're like, oh, Terminator. Yes, I'll be back. Okay, wait, is that it? Yeah. Terminar, to finish, to terminate, to be done, right? Terminar, to finish. You're welcome. All right, this one, there are two definitions, guys. The verb is tomar. Tomar can mean to take, as in to take a picture. It can also mean to drink water. Not necessarily just water, but to drink. It can mean to drink. It can mean to take a photo, to take anything. Tomar, two meanings, to take or to drink. To take or to drink. Tomar. Few more, guys, and we're all done. Trabajar. Trabajar, to work. Yo trabajo en Radford High School, right? I work. Yo trabajo, taking away the AR, and Radford High School. I work at Radford High School. Trabajar, to work. To work. And the last one on our list, viajar. You know, that thing that most people aren't doing anymore. To travel. Okay? To travel. One day, guys. One day. Viajar, to travel. Viajar, to travel. Viajar, to travel. Alrighty, folks. We are going to do a little bit of practica. These are going to be turned into Edpuzzle questions for you. So, one at a time, you're going to take away the endings and you're going to conjugate these verbs. I'm going to do the first one for you. Then 2 through 8, dos a ocho, they are going to turn into Edpuzzle questions. So, remember, step 1, checking out this verb, which means to finish. I'm going to find the stem. Take away that AR. AR is gone. I don't need it anymore. I have termin. I'm left with the stem, termin. Then I'm going to replace that AR with a what? If I'm talking about the yo form, I'm going to replace it with a O, okay? Again, I changed that AR to a O. Yo termino. I finish. I finish. Whatever. My homework. My meal. Whatever. Yo termino. You're going to do the rest. Dos a ocho. 2 through 8. On the Edpuzzle assignment. You're not going to be able to see the answers just yet, so try your best, okay? Chicos, this is the end of this. Please make sure you answer all the rest of those questions for me. Please make sure you have taken notes, guys. If you don't have notes on this, you're going to be lost the rest of the quarter. Tell your friends. Do this. Get it done. It's not that bad, right? Enjoy my commentary throughout. We will see each other next class. Por favor, please get this done. Let your classmates know. If you have a question, let me know. Please send me an email. Message me on Google Classroom. Whatever you got to do, I'm here to help. We will be practicing this more. Don't worry though, this is not going to be on your quiz on Friday. Strictly vocabulario, only vocab. Alright, chicos, nos vemos pronto.